Alright, make sure you have your table of contents filled out. Subtracting integers, page 33. Today's date is October the 2nd. So we're going to go ahead and get started on today's notes. So yesterday we talked about adding integers. We know we can use counters, number lines, scoreboards, or remember of your song. Think of your song. So when you subtract integers, instead of subtracting, you are going to add its opposite. You are adding its opposite. So you're going to be changing the subtraction problem to an addition problem. So let's go over our steps. My first step is going to be to keep the first number. So my first number is not going to change. We're going to rewrite it. Step 2, we're going to change the subtraction symbol to addition. So instead of subtracting, we're going to add. Step 3, we're changing, so we're going to change the second number to its opposite. So if the second number is a 5, the opposite will be negative 5. The second number is a 3, the opposite will be a negative 3. The second number is a negative 10, the opposite would be a positive 10. And then step 4, which is our last step, we are going to add. Because after we do step 1, 2, and 3, we're going to have an addition problem. So now we're just going to add like yesterday. So follow your addition rules. And if you need to review those, you can always go back to your adding integers notes. Remember, you can use scoreboard, counters, number line, or remember your song. And I have posted the video of the song in classwork. Alright, so let's do our first example. We're going to have negative 5 minus 3. Remember, I always said to look at what operation you have in the center. So in the center here, I have a subtraction symbol. So anytime you have a subtraction symbol, you know you're going to use keep, change, change. So this strategy, we're going to call it KCC. Not KCF, because KCF is with fractions. We're going to use KCC. So anytime you hear me say KCC, that means we're going to keep, change, change. So step 1, we're going to keep our first number. So I'm going to rewrite negative 5. My second step, we're going to change subtraction to addition. Change to addition. And then step 3, we're going to change the second number, which is 3, to the opposite. And the opposite of 3 is negative 3. And then remember yesterday, what did we use to separate our symbols? So we're going to make parentheses. And now, in the center, we have an addition problem. And to add, we use the scoreboard. Remember, you can also use counters and number lines. But when and if you have bigger numbers, use the scoreboard. So the 5 is going to go in the negative team because it's negative. And the 3 is going to go in the negative team because it's also negative. So then my negative team wins. So my answer will be a negative. And the negative team wins by 8 points. Because the negative team got 8, the positive team got 0. So it's a negative 8. Let's try another example. We're going to do negative 6 minus negative 14. So first thing, I'm going to go back. Negative 5 minus 3 is the same thing as negative 8. So back to our second example. Always look in the center. What operation do you have? So that way you know what strategy to use. And this tells me we're going to use K, C, C. So we're going to keep the negative 6. Change the subtraction to addition. And then change the negative 14 to the opposite, which is just 14. And I don't need to put another plus. We know that it's positive, so we don't need to include it. And now we have addition, so we make our T-chart, our scoreboard. 6 is negative, so we're going to put 6 in the negative team. And 14 is positive, so we're going to put 14 on the positive team. 14 is bigger than 6, so my positive team wins. And it wins by 14 minus 6. We get 8. So my answer is a positive 8. Notice how these two problems equal the same answer. So these two expressions are equal. Let's do one more. 3 minus 7. Oops. Example 3. 3 minus 7. First thing, look at our operation. We're subtracting, so we need to do KCC. I'm going to keep my 3. Change subtraction to addition. And change my positive 7 to its opposite, which is negative 7. And I'm going to put this in parentheses to separate my symbols. And then we follow our addition rules, or we do our T-chart. 3 is positive, so we're going to put it in the positive team. 7 is negative, we're going to put it in the negative team. My negative team has more points. So that means my answer will be a negative. And it wins by 4 points. We subtract, we get 4. And my answer will be negative 4. You can also think of it this way. You started with 3 and you subtracted 7. Can you subtract 7 from 3? No, there's no way. If I have 3 fingers, I cannot take 7 away. I don't have 7 to take away. So that's going to give me a negative answer. So then, we're just going to do 7 minus 3 and gives us 4. So my answer is a negative 4. You can also think of it as money. If you have $3 and you spend $7, you now owe negative $4. So think of it that way also. Alright, at this time, go ahead and do your assignment. If you have questions, let me know.